Welcome to our Blackfish POS tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Blackfish POS software as it's running in table service mode. We've discussed in other videos that the software is able to run in two different modes. Table service mode is for full service restaurant where you're going to have a server going to the table and you need to be starting table numbers for each order. And then there's quick service mode, which would be for bar service, counter walk-up service, food truck, any of those kind of things where you just want to move quickly from one order to the next without necessarily needing to start a table number. So we'll go ahead and log in. And we can see that when we're running in table service mode, this is our desktop, and this is kind of going to be our base where we navigate through the front of the house. Whoever's logged into your software, your server is going to be listed up here in the corner of the screen, and then any open tables that they have are going to show across this screen. If they have more than show in this blue area, you would use the arrows over here to page up and down. We do have the ability to create table numbers as well as bar seats, if that applies to your restaurant. And down at the bottom are our basic buttons where we navigate through the front of the house. So for managers and for owners, some of these buttons will apply more to you, not so much to your staff. But your order history allows you to go back and search for transactions from the day, open orders, closed orders, all for the day. Or you can search them in by the individual user who rang them in. Back to the desktop. Our time clock is where people will clock in and out or start breaks if they're allowed to do so. They can have multiple options to clock in and out under. So if they perform different duties on different days, they can clock in accordingly, and that way they will be paid accordingly. We have some buttons down here for cash paid in and paid out throughout a shift. The cash from the start of the day to be accounted for and drops. On our finance screen, we can search our transactions by different payment type. So if we have gift card transactions, credit, cash transactions, we can go through and select the individual ones. We can have house accounts, checks, or we can view them all. This is also the screen we will come to adjust credit card gratuities if you are using the integrated credit card processing. And we have the credit tip total over here. If we click on that, and it will show them what their credit card tips are for the day. And this is where we'll do our closeout at the end of the day and reset our totals to start the new business day. The system button is only going to be available to the employees that you give it to. This is what takes us to the back of the house where we set our pay rates, our products, our prices, our taxes. That kind of stuff is considered back of the house information. And obviously that's sensitive information you don't want just anyone to be able to get to. So only employees with manager access will have this button. On your reports, we have a master sales report that's going to show you everything that's gone on. And then we can break your sales down by revenue center, by your different revenue types, which could just be food and alcohol, or you could be very specific and break it down to meat, seafood, dairy products, bottled beer, draft beer, wine, just as vague or specific as you want to be. We can break it down by, say, lunch or dinner, by the individual products within the group themselves. How many Bud Lights did you sell today, or how many orders of cheese sticks? We can look at our sales by employees as well, and then all of our different promos, voids, comps, and at the bottom, all of our payroll information. So a lot of good reports we can look at here, give us a lot of information. You have the ability to print these. You also have the ability to export them to PDFs, to Excels, or to CSVs. And we can simply select our date, add it over, and it'll generate the report for us. We also have the option to come here and select a custom date range. And there's going to be all of our sales information across the top. And then it's going to break down your specifics for the day and any notes you may have added across the bottom. You do have the ability to save these reports to your computer or to email them to yourself as well. That can be great if you have another manager doing your closing duties and they can email you the reports for the day. Here we can merge two tables together or transfer tables from one server to another. And then if we come up here, we can manage our house accounts. We can have some online ordering. That is another option that you can add on. We can look at our wait tables and manage our pre-auths and our floor plan. This is where you'll come to create your floor plan if that's something that you would like to use. Right now I have that enabled, so when we hit new table, it's automatically going to pop up the floor plan of our restaurant, and I would simply select the table within my section that I wanted, and it's going to start me a table there for table 12. I can then ring up items on this check, go back to my desktop, and I will see table 12 with my name on it right here. I can put a name on the table itself for the customer. So if I'm starting a bar seat and I want to start a tab, I could add the last name from the credit card right here where it says Johnson. And again, this shows me all my tables that are still open. So if I click on table 12, it brings it back up. And this is going to be our ordering screen. This is where your staff is going to come to enter in all their information, and it's broken into 3 main parts. We have the display side here that is the running tally of everything that's on the check and the balance due. We have the product groups down the middle, and then we have the individual products themselves on the right-hand side. So as we click through the different groups, we can see all of the different products that are in those groups. You can have as many product groups as you need, page up and down. You have room for as many products as you need. You can page up and down if you have more than will fit on one screen, as we do on the drinks A to M. So you'll see that there's some blue space up here that looks like it can be utilized. That will be used as we begin to ring items in. One of the really great features about the software is the ability to use force modifiers and exception modifiers on your tickets. So we'll see if we ring in an order of wings, we automatically get a forced modifier that's asking us what kind of wing sauce we would like. It's going to tell us here in the white box, maximum choice is 1. So we'll select what wing sauce we like. And now we have another force modifier that's asking us maximum choice of 1. How many dressings would we like to choose? Or which type of dressing would we like to choose? As soon as we make that selection, it then brings us right back to the ordering screen we were on, and we can continue with our order. Force modifiers will force the server to stop and make a selection before they can continue to order. It can be used for things like sides as well, where here you can see we have a maximum choice of 2. So when I ring in the first one, these options are going to stay on the screen until I make that second selection. And then I'm able to go back and continue my ordering. Force modifiers can also be used as a great way for upcharging. We can see if we ring in a Bloody Mary, it's going to charge $5. If we ring in a Bloody Mary call, it charges $5 as a base price, and then is now forcing us to pick which vodka we would like to use. And if we select the Absolute, it's going to add an extra 75 cents onto the ticket. So that's a great way to keep your pricing consistent and to upcharge for items when necessary. We also have exception modifiers, which are a little bit different. Exception modifiers are communications that need to go to whoever's preparing the item, but they may not need to be used all the time. And so we don't want them to force the server to stop. We don't want to slow down the ordering process if we don't need to. So if we want to look at an example of the difference, we can ring in a chef salad. We will get a forced modifier for our dressing. We have to stop and select our dressing. If we choose to, we can come down to the exception modifiers, and that's going to bring up all of our other communications we may want to make to the kitchen, where we could say, well, they want that dressing on the side, and they want no croutons. When we're done, we just hit exit modify, and everything will print here on that ticket to the kitchen or to the bar, wherever the ticket needs to be sent. So your forced modifiers and your exception modifiers can keep your ticket's communication very accurate and speed up your ordering process by only being there when you really need it to be there. Up top, we have some different functions we can look at. We can mark items for delivery. We can use our pizza builder function, clear the tax if you have situations where that's necessary. We can mark items as takeout, as appetizer, don't make, or put a hold on an item. Those things will show here printed next to the item when they come up on the ticket. We have the ability to put a name on the table like we talked about if we're going to have a tab, and we might need to put the last name, say, from the credit card on there, or it might be an employee tab we want to put their name on. We can add a name to it. We can add bar seats and new tables from here. If we want to go right to a new table and not back to the desktop, we can click that from here. We have the ability to send this order while staying on this check, and this is great if we clear this out for now. If we ring in an appetizer, we can send that order and then go on and continue with our ordering. So we don't actually have to get out of the check and back into it. We can fire off part of that order and then continue with our ordering process. We have the ability to split seats. We can create a new seat over here. Just simply move the mushrooms over. And now from the bottom of the check, we have seat 1 and seat 2. If we go to if we want to create new seats from this screen, we can simply press the button down here, and now we have a third seat we can begin to order on. If we go to the payment screen, this is where we take payment. Simply click on the cash, the credit card, or pay by check. You can unsplit a seat from here, enter a manual credit card, and this is also where we can do any promos, comps, or voids. You can build as many different discount sources as you may like and add these on. And if we want to pay it out, we can use the quick cash buttons, or we can type in the amount that was given to us and click OK. Void payment from here. So that's a quick overview of the Blackfish POS as it's running in table service mode. Again, we do have the ability to run in quick service mode as well. When you run in quick service mode, you simply stay on this main screen. Each time you cash out, you stay on this screen and move right to the next order without creating table numbers and stuff. We have a lot of great features in the back of the house when you get your system in. Again, you will only give access to managers and owners probably to get back here, but there will be a user manual that's stored on your desktop, your Windows desktop, that will mirror this exactly, and it will show you how to come in and set up each of these steps. Steps 1 through 5 is going to be entering all of your employee information. What can they do? How much do they get paid? Step 6 will be set up for you when you get your system more than likely, so you'll probably skip that. And then steps 7 through 11 is where we're going to create all those forced modifiers and the exception modifiers we talked about. We can make pricing intervals if we have, say, happy hour or set specials that we run, and then create all of those product groups that run down the middle of the screen. And then here's where we'll create the individual products themselves. We have the ability to put a count on an item if we know, say we only have 15 Bud Lights left. We can enter that and check the box, and once we sell that 15th beer, it will take that Bud Light off of the order screen so that people can't order it anymore. We have a prompt for price ability, so if you're selling something with a market value, or you need an open button or a miscellaneous button, you can make a prompt for price, so when they ring that button in, it's going to pop up a box and ask each time how much they want to charge. If you're using a scale, we have that functionality here. If you need to charge by the ounce or by the pound, we can add that on. We can also assign the pizza builder function from here. So that's kind of a quick overview of some of the features in Blackfish Point of Sale as it runs in the table service mode. For more information, check out the rest of our videos and check out blackfishpos.com. Thanks for joining us.